The old planche progress video. This has been highly requested, guys. Plenty of ups, several downs, setbacks along the way, a lot of self doubt. This is going to show you from where I started to me achieving the straddle planche. I'm going to give you some advice along the way. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Hey guys, let's get this started. This isn't scripted or rehearsed or anything like that. I'm just going to bring it to you as we go. So to start with, in 2009, I first began experimenting with the planche. At the start, I could do a tuck planche for probably 15 seconds on parallel bars, and at this stage I weighed about 76 kilos, quite thin and skinny at the start of my training career, but we've all got to start somewhere, which is all good. And then as the years went on with the planche, I'd practice it very sporadically, and what I mean by this is I'd focus on it for a few weeks, see minimal progress, and then get distracted by doing other exercises which were a bit easier for me to progress in. And this process repeated itself for several years, to be honest with you, and I never actually gave the planche the dedication and consistency that it requires for at least me personally to make good progress with it. Especially in 2013, when I bulked up to over 90 kilos. I think at my peak I was around 94 kilos in the morning, and clearly it was having a big toll on my planche progress, in addition to not providing the planche with the dedication it required. So I'd say that at the start of 2014 was when I began taking the planche more seriously, and by this I mean at least working on it religiously every single week, at least 2 to 3 times a week. But still I was playing around with too many other movement patterns at the same time. So I'm talking, I was doing a lot of volume with, say, handstand push-ups, 90-degree push-ups, practicing one-arm handstand, doing a lot of pulling volume. And unfortunately, your recovery capacity is only so much, and I just did not have the recovery capacity to make progress in so many different areas at once. And it took me a while to realize that this was the cause of my lack of progression. So I'd say midway through 2014, I started focusing a lot more seriously on the planche and getting a little bit less distracted on other strength elements. Made really good progress through to the start of 2015, and I was at the stage of testing my max hold, and around this time I got injured. Got some bad news. I've injured my wrist, partial tear to my scapholunate ligament, which is the ligament between here and here on your wrist, a microtrabecular fracture to my distal radius. Fast forward 2 months later, I couldn't use my wrist at all when I got injured in March, so I couldn't start training any upper body elements where I had to load my wrist until around late April. So starting back again, ground zero, tuck planches, trying to build that wrist mobility. And I really decided at this point that I really wanted to tick this goal off my list. And starting from this point, I really did dedicate myself to the planche, focusing on being as consistent as possible, having a high frequency of training, really trying to drop the ego as much as I could and work within my capacity to recover. And by doing so, I noticed the fastest progress, simply because I was able to recover and training in a more intelligent fashion. So I'd say I'm extremely proud of my ability to go from a tuck planche to a 5-second straddle planche within 8 to 9 months after my injury, starting at ground zero, and this was achieved at a height of 183 centimeters and around 85 kilograms in the morning. When it comes to the planche, guys, always stick to the basics. Do the exercise correctly for starters. Straight arms at all times, trying to lean as far forward as you can to replicate the joint angle that's necessary for harder planche variations, such as the straddle planche or the full planche if you're good enough to get there in the long term. Also, when it comes to intensity, don't do a version of the planche you can only hold for a few seconds. That's just ridiculous. That's way too hard. You're not going to get a training effect from doing that because you can't get the necessary volume in to get adaptations. On the other hand, guys, Don't do a planche variation that you can hold for, say, 30 plus seconds. That's a joke. That's not a high enough intensity for you to make gains either. I can't stress the importance of being patient, guys. You're not going to be able to see the progress day to day or even week to week when it comes to advanced exercises. It just takes a long time to see your results come through. Just enjoy the daily grind, the weekly grind of putting in the work, knowing that what you're doing is going to pay off in the long term, in the sense that you are building strength. Don't lose that confidence, guys. Don't have that self-doubt in yourself. Keep putting in the work and it'll pay off. It always does.
Fuck yeah! That's probably like fucking 7 seconds, mate. Yes, come here. This guy. Yes.